Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, Austin and his fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire! Last episode, we completed and found the second of the people who is going to help us against the dragon, and now we're after the third, Widewind himself, from the Widewind's legacy. We need to find the 4 pieces of his soul scattered through the time of his memories. We have something that will allow us to travel through them. Widewind Sundial. Absorbs the defenses of all enemies in the area. I will need to find someone to give it to. Probably... I think I know who I'll give it to, but that'll be later. How am I on these, by the way? 589, so I'm taking... So that's damage being taken. That's not going to happen for a while. Let's interact with the body. Torn apart by the force of the bomb, Widewind is in a tableau of agony. Any divine aspect has fled, leaving him nothing more than a mortal in great pain. In his broken state, he is beyond any help. While we can look into the light, I think we should explore through here first. Where does this take me? There is another light down here. Oh, and traps.
Now, why not?
And something hidden. We've been picking up a lot of grenades. Doesn't seem like there's anything else down here. Alright. We'll take the one up there first.
Leave it to me.
A beam of clear, radiant light cuts through the murky expanse of the beyond. The air around it is notably warmer than the rest of this realm. The light shines down the sundial's pinhole and aligns with dusk. Turn the ring towards noon. As you adjust the sundial, the ambient light shifts around you and the ground trembles beneath your feet. And noon, the moment of. Oh dear. The moment the explosion happened.
Incredible. If only I could...
The explosion of the Godhammer bomb has ripped Widewind's body in half. It happened so quickly that his face has yet to lose the crease of concern he wore a moment ago. In his broken state, he is beyond any help. Another trap.
I've seen this moment in my dreams.
So I can proceed. There's a soul collector.
That looks complicated.
Scarcely believe it. Yes, toss me something else.
You three, out of the way, so that we can get you in to help.
I'm here.
Go on, help him out. No fire, though. We don't need another explosion killing all of us. Okay, Soul Collector's down. Now the Warden of Decay and the Burning Archer. You know, the burning ones are probably weak to ice. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to check.
I'm listening.
Okay. Taken care of.
Straight away.
There's some rubble. Looks like there is something we can see down below. I just can't get to it now. So it looks like... Oh, shambling souls. Okay, here I think you can try a fireball. Okay, the souls are all gathered together. They're going to be taking a lot of damage here.
Oh, good. After him.
trying to kill me?
Nope, just taking out these shambling souls who are all gathered together in place like this.
Can't do it.
One more. And there we go.
No trouble at all.
From here we can go up. Okay.
Look at this.
So I think we can pick up all of the moments and use that in order to explore. And if we go to Dawn, that'll be the starting moment. So, dusk over here. We should go over to Dawn again and look through. This is noon, and we can explore this massive part of the bridge.
Why not?
And if we turn it towards Dawn... then we end up in this moment. Widewin stands suspended in the instant before calamity, a final appeal for surrender still frozen on his lips. I'll get us out of here if I can, Widewin.
Saint to even consider it. Whatever happened here scattered me in body and mind. I can't leave while I'm shattered. Gather enough of the pieces and maybe I'll be strong enough to be some help.
Indeed. Seems like right now there's only one other we can go to. At least in this position. I did see a way to get to another, but for now, I'm gonna go over to here. I can reach this point in dawn and noon, but I can't reach it in dusk. As you adjust the sundial, the ambient light shifts around you and the ground trembles. And let's see what this side of the bridge looks like in dusk. I found the soul, but I don't know how to get to it. You did find something hidden, but I don't know where it is. More burning soldiers.
Just like this weapon's no good to me.
Are they immune to fire? They're immune to fire. Fire would not help.
Let's go.
Yep, immune to fire, not immune to cold. So cold is going to be effective against them.
Oh, good. That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Okay, you fall back before you die. Son of a bitch.
Yeah?
Okay,
So help
she's
me
back.
God, I'll whoop the next one of you. Same as me.
Someone else's battles.
And she's going to die again unless you cast another spell immediately.
I can't whack him any harder.
Yeah, mow it.
Okay, that one's down.
Good.
Thank you for the healing.
That works.
One more to deal with.
You like that? Let's go.
Come on, finish off that archer. There we go. Okay. Oh, Wintertide Bulwark. Hoarfrost Shell. +2 shield deflection each time the wielder is missed. Okay, that's handy. Receive 100 afflictions and it'll get stronger.
Sure.
Okay, not the best situation, but it is what it is. Looks like I can walk this way. We found a piece. Fragmented from wide when in the blast, a splinter of soul essence feverishly clings to a moment in life now forgotten. Read the soul. You dangled your legs over the edge of a dock. In the gloom of pre-dawn, the lake resembled a mirror of polished obsidian. Your father approached with a pair of fishing rods. Back then, he stood as tall as a mountain. He expected you to be ready in the boat by now. What had you so distracted? Father, would the morning still come if Aethys wasn't here to draw it over the horizon? He sighed. A foolish question. Aethys is the dawn. His absence would be the death of all light. You're old enough for this to be obvious. What is truly on your mind? Your father knows you well enough to see through this obvious deflection. We till the soil and we plant the seeds, but give thanks only to Aethys for the harvest. Before you could finish the thought, the fishing rods clattered to the ground and your father struck you hard enough that you pitched forward into the lake. Your mouth opened with a cry that was quickly stifled by the cold water. He bellowed that the gods deserved gratitude, not an ignorant child's faithless doubt. You should thank Aethys for the harvest and the dawn. Pride will only make you complacent. You were never a strong swimmer. By the time you desperately clawed your way back to the surface, your father had rowed out to the middle of the lake to be alone. You knew better than to call out to him and interrupt his fishing. You sat on the shore and awaited his return. When the dawn crested the horizon, you didn't give thanks for the warmth it brought. You wanted to remember the cold. So that was the moment at the end. That said, there doesn't appear to be any more that we can do. I can see you trying to get up there, but it looks like in order to get there, we'll need to get from somewhere over here. No! We can get there from there. Okay. That's what we're gonna do then. Head back towards dawn. Okay. We arrive back at dawn. Then we head over to here and head towards night. Sorry, dusk.
Leave it to me.
This will be the point we need to go to. We'll be able to get another 2. And we can go down this way. I didn't even think of that. And from here, we can get to the second piece of soul. Oh, 1 dozen stood. Heavy legendary armor. Don't let him through. 15% damage with disengagement attacks, plus 10 accuracy with disengagement attacks, and plus 2 burn armor rating. There's also, when the wearer is knocked unconscious, they deal significant burn damage to nearby enemies. Grants protection of the Godhammer. While near death, the wearer gains bonus armor and deals burn damage to melee attackers. Interesting. The wearer gains bonus engagement as their health decreases, with a max of plus 3. And nearby enemies have lower stride for 4 seconds after the wearer scores a hit with a disengagement attack. Interesting. So the idea of this is fire keeping the person alive, while at the same time making sure nobody can get away from whoever is wearing this. Fragmented from wide when in the blast, a splinter of soul essence feverishly clings to a moment in life now forgotten. Your father reached up from the sickbed and clutched at your wrist, his fingers gnarled and skeletal. You'd seen enough of this condition spreading through the colony to know he wouldn't last long. It was a miracle he hung on this long. His breathing was labored, his voice ragged, but his gaze was alert and full of questions that only you could answer. I'll see after the farm when you're gone, and make sure it stays in the family. He shook his head and maintained his grip. His lips and nose were stained by the Vorlist cough, a plague that colored the phlegm purple. To you, it resembled an actor's smeared face paint. He asked in a ragged whisper if you kept your faith. I still thank Aethys for the harvest and the dawn, just as you taught me. Satisfied, he nodded, but then his grip tightened as another fit of coughing crumpled him into a ball. And I'll thank him for the dusk as it settles over you, Father. The coughing fit rattled to a halt as your father regarded you in wide-eyed shock. Now you left me to face a cold dawn. Now you can give thanks to the fading of your light. And you can do it alone. You moved away from the sickbed that was soon to be a deathbed, closing the door quietly behind you. Then you stepped out on the porch to savor the last rays of the day. Very cold. Troubled childhood and domineering father, he carried his resentment into adulthood. That may not be what I was supposed to say. Perhaps that wasn't what I should have said. I'm changing my mind on what he said. Hold on a moment. Because we are altering or adjusting how things are taken. Read the soul. I'll see after the farm. I needed a father, not a priest. You were neither to me. Farewell. You moved away from the sickbed that was soon to be a deathbed. Is it the same? Carried his resentment into adulthood, so it didn't actually change. Alright. Well, I don't think there's another one open to me at the moment. Except for down here. So... let's see what happens when we take this to noon. The moment of, on this bridge below. There's a fragment here. This will be the third, but there's a fourth. A splintered fragment of Widewind's soul clings to the spot, endlessly recalling some piece of memory consumed by guilt and shame. You drew your sickle across a thin patch of Vorlus. The harvest would be a poor one, but at least that was a shared burden that no one in Riad Saris suffered alone. Praise to God for what little we have. As usual, there was no reply. You drew the sundial out from under your shirt, but the light had waned too much to judge the hour. Widewind. You flinched as the chiming of a bell echoed from some distant source. A sensation of warmth spread across your back. Who's there? The daylight blossomed to life, exploding into many colors that filled the sky. You turned to face it, shielding your eyes until you realized that it didn't hurt to look into this brilliance. A glowing figure loomed before you. Do you still thank me for the dawn and the harvest, Widewind? You dropped to your knees. You felt laid bare before the light of Aethys. Every word spoken in hate, every punch you threw first, every time you turned your back to the dawn, they were all his to judge. Forgive me, my lord. The luminescent figure flickered in a way that reminded you at once of a guttering candle and a chuckle. Do you think I'm here to admonish and cast you into the lake? No, I would draw you back to the warmth for a higher calling. He knew. Suddenly you felt like that child again, vulnerable and alone before a looming all-powerful presence. Fear not, for you are chosen above all others. You will be the light to bring about the rebirth of an empire. An empire? It was gibberish to you, but Aethys probably knew something you didn't. Of course he did. His words filled you with a warmth and confidence that you had never felt before. Where do we start? He told you that it starts where stories usually do. At a beginning. The sickle fell from your grip with a clatter as a hand reached out from across a great distance to touch your brow. A light stole over your vision. Much later, you awakened a changed man. Okay. So then what happens if we go to... I assume dusk brings us back to where we were a moment ago. With this particular light. It does indeed. So then what about dawn? Where does dawn take us to? There's a priest here. Wrong person disarming the trap.
Sure.
That leads to Evandare Bridge.
Damn it. Why can't I remember?
The soul of this robed priestess circles around the same thoughts in a pattern reminiscent of pacing. Who are you? She doesn't seem to hear you.
I memorized that illusion spell. How can it be gone? Another second and Widewin will know the bomb is here. Damn it, girl. This is your chance. The whole point of the thing is that his soul finds him first.
As you intuit her meaning, you catch a flash of memory. Robed priests assembling a delicate mechanism, spiked copper plates housing a fragile shard of Adra. The Adra houses a piece of Widewin's soul. Durrance was right. The bomb worked because a part of Widewin's soul was inside. The mechanism was elegant in its simplicity. When a fragment of Widewin reacted to his approach on the bridge above, it conducted soul energy into the copper and triggered the explosive. A bomb for Widewin, made of Widewin. It was a delicate trigger by design. The work of removing such a critical part will involve no small risk. You can't remember the spell to hide the bomb.
It's like I'm on stage and forgot the words of the song. How could this happen?
Her soul turns on itself in desperation. You won't hear this, but I'll return your memory if I happen across it.
Can't think. Why can't I think of it?
Her soul dims its luminosity to a speck, what you take to be the spiritual equivalent of a wince. Interesting. The southmost tower. Here. This is our only way up from here. There's no other way. Okay, then. Interesting. We need to find a way to get down. Because there is one more piece that we need to get.
Why not?
If I take this to Dusk, will I be able to take it down to the tower, now that I've unlocked it? No, definitely not. It is completely destroyed. What about the moment of?
Leave it to me.
Will the moment of do anything? This is the tower. But I can't seem to get to that.
Sure.
Okay, I need to figure out a way to get in there. Because he mentioned something about the last piece being there. How do we get to the tower?
You've got to remember the incantation. Don't forget. Don't let it go.
You still don't remember the spell?
Didn't come this far just to tuck tail and surrender. Not to them.
Unconcerned with you, her spirit persists in rapidly assessing the situation frozen in time.
Once I've got my senses back, I'll drag them all along for my fiery ride into hell.
There's got to be a way. I mean, I have this key. The southernmost tower. Which is this one. I'm in it. Oh wait, I can go back here. Is there something I can get to back here?
Look at this.
Not really. How do I find the last piece of Wide One's soul? And where is the southernmost tower? Is there a path I'm missing? Let me go to Moment of over here. Maybe I'm missing something. I just don't see it. I don't see what I'm supposed to be going to. Unless I'm supposed to jump onto that? That can't be right. It can't be right, can it? So all this wandering around to try and find the path I'm supposed to be taking, but... Hold up to noon. I remember when I originally did this game, this particular area was very difficult to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do to get the last piece. No, there's no way over to that. It only goes to here.
Sure.
If I turn it to dust, it'll take me back up, won't it? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to end this episode here, and I need to take a look up to get a reminder of how I get the last piece. But that'll be in the next episode, so until then, I'm Chestic44, also known as Falai. That is Laniara, Joti, Idwin, Vatnir, and Aloth. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, and I shall see you all next time.